All right, we're sitting here, Verbal Designs, recording artist, feature of the week, Ronnie Guess, E21 Studios, Hakim Bey. How y'all boys doing today?
What's going on? Good. Chilling. Good.
We're sitting here with Ronnie. He's coming off his second album, I Am Hip Hop. Ronnie,
Yes.
tell everybody out there a little bit about I Am Hip Hop.
I Am Hip Hop is basically, it's a personal album for me, but it's also for all the hip hop heads out there that miss the way hip hop used to sound. You know, there's a lot of hip hop out today that I don't agree with. It sounds more like it's put together by record labels as opposed to the artist actually creating the whole entire album and speaking from the heart. It seems like it's more towards, you know, money basically. That's what they push it to. So hip hop isn't hip hop anymore. Hip hop is a dollar sign. And that's what this album is about. It's about where hip hop used to be, where it is today, and where I would like to see it in the future. And that's basically the whole project right there.
Wow, that's solid.
Yeah.
So, I see you here with Hakim Bey, E21 Studios.
Mr. Boom Bat, sir.
Mr. Boom Bat.
Amazing, a.k.a. Amazing.
My apologies, Mr. Amazing. Let me know, what are you two working on here today?
Today we got a track that he brought over that he wants me to flip around, you know, do my magic to. So we're going to do that. That's going to go on the new album, Beautiful Suicide.
Yeah.
I think I got, about 90% of the tracks on there.
Yeah.
And this one right here, this album is going to be a banger. You know, got me on it, so ain't nothing else to say.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be.
Yeah. All right. So Ronnie, you know, understanding from what you had just said about bringing hip hop back, I talk to a lot of artists nowadays, and everybody has something to say about the state of hip hop. I understand you made an album called I Am Hip Hop, and within that album, you speak about where hip hop is today.
Right.
Explain to me what needs to happen to hip hop today for it to get back to its original culture that I hear so many artists speaking about.
They got to get back to doing the music because they love doing the music. Now they don't do it because they love it. Now they do it because it's a fashion show, it's a fad, it's cool. So all these kids that, when I was coming up, when we were coming up, we did hip-hop because we loved it. Because it was something that got us away from our parents bitching at us. Or it took us away from, you know, the pain of a girlfriend breaking your heart. Or, you know, you and your best friends not being friends anymore, now you're strangers. All those personal things that you deal with in life, we wrote about it. You know what I mean? And we made songs about it, and that was hip-hop. Today, they don't make songs about what they're living or how they feel. They make songs about money, designer clothes, you know, cars. You know, they make dance songs. You know, you got little kids that can't even go to the clubs listening to songs about clubs. They're not learning anything from the music. There's no message with today's music. In the past, it was all about message music. Today's music, there's no message at all.
Wow. All right, cool. All right, so we understand this is your second album. You had a first album called Ill Poetic. Your second album, I Am Hip Hop. Your third album, Beautiful Suicide, which you're working on here with E21 at the studio. Give us a little bit about that coming up. Beautiful Suicide. Give us a little insight on that.
Okay, Beautiful Suicide is basically, what goes into that is, well, what goes into making music. Whether you're a producer, an MC, you put everything you have into making a song. You sit down and you write, you die on the paper. You put everything, your heart and soul, you bleed on the paper for others to understand where you're coming from. When I write a song about being sick, you know, with a disease or, you know, somebody passing away, something that everybody goes through in life, something that everybody can relate to, when you want to put that on paper and record it and give it to the world to hear, you want to die on that song. You want to make sure you gave it everything. And when you give everything, just like in life, you live your life, you gave it everything, and then you die. It's a beautiful suicide. It's nothing negative. It's not a depressing album. It's basically you put your heart and soul into this music and you die on every song so that people can understand where you're coming from. That's the meaning of Beautiful Suicide.
Yeah, that's hot. That's hot. And we're definitely glad to be a part of something like that. All right, so for the kids out there today who probably won't watch this, but if they do happen to watch this, if you were to tell them what hip-hop is today based off what they know about hip-hop, so if you were to look at today's main artist and judge them. You know, we're going to step into the arena and we're going to say, okay, this person is, and we're mainly concerned with who isn't hip-hop. If today's youth, the 17-year-old kid with the boom box and he's pumping, he's walking down the street and you hear it and he's feeling like he's hip-hop and you may have to spin him around and put him in a different direction, what artist would he be listening to that you'd like to correct today?
I'm guessing today's youth, they're not walking around listening to any positive rappers. They're listening to, you know, Soulja Boy. They're listening to Gucci Mane. They're listening to Lil Wayne. They're listening to Kanye West. Those rappers, they're not hip-hop artists. They're pop stars. There's a difference. You know what I mean? There's a pop star, somebody that just makes music because it sells. And then there's a hip-hop artist. And the hip-hop artist is me. The hip-hop artist is E21. And it's a lot of underground MCs that don't get a lot of recognition because those pop stars painted this picture for the world. Nobody's looking at our paintings. They're looking at that picture over there.
Wow.
We're over in the other building. They're over there looking at, you know what I mean? So to go at an MC that's signed, making tons of money, you know, it makes me look like a hater because I'm broke. I'm doing underground hip hop and I'm not signed. The world doesn't know who I am. So when I target somebody like that, I get called a hater by those people and by their fans. But by real hip-hop heads, they look at me and they give me a round of applause.
Right.
Because I got the balls to say it. I don't care about naming names. I'll name names all day long. Kanye West, I think he's metro as hell. I don't think that's the direction hip-hop should be going. You know, those jeans are so tight on him and Lil Wayne, I don't even understand how they have balls. You know what I'm saying? I can't fit my balls into those jeans. And that's just speaking real, like how we talk. That's being blunt about it. Now, there's underground artists that nobody knows about, just like they don't know about me, and I don't respect their hustle, their grind. I don't respect the way they're taking their direction, their music at all. They're doing it because they see those pop stars and they want to be just like them.
Right.
They figure if I mimic them, that's the only way I'm going to get noticed. That's the only way I'm going to make it. Instead of being original and writing music because that's the way they feel, and writing music because back in the day they loved listening to real hip hop, they don't do that no more. Now they want to be like them.
Right.
You got those rappers. They're all over the world. They do shows locally. You know, they use auto-tune. First of all, let me explain. Anybody that uses auto-tune, that's not hip-hop. I don't respect you as an artist. I don't even respect you as a person because, to me, you're trying to destroy hip-hop, period.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Basically, like what he's saying with the auto-tune is, back in the day, we used auto-tunes. Back in the 70s, it was created, you know, with the synthesizer and the tube that went in the mouth. And that was a whole different creative process of it. But today, it's like taking the auto-tunes and now you becoming a robot. It's not even you. You know what I mean? It's like you done put what you feel it to be your heart and soul, you done put it into something really mechanical, and now it's not you no more.
Right. It's like you're faking, really.
Yeah.
You can't sing for shit, so auto-tune it, make it sound like I can sing. That's not real. That's not real. If you weren't born with the vocal cords to sing, then you shouldn't sing. You know what I'm saying? If you weren't, you know, if you weren't born with the skills to write music, then you shouldn't write. So that means if you can't write, then you shouldn't be a rapper. You shouldn't have somebody else writing your shit, and then you performing it, record it as if it's your own, because that's not, you're faking it. If you can't sing, don't use auto-tune. Don't use auto-tune, period. It sounds like shit. If I want to hear the Transformers sing, I don't know. I go to what's that dude with the Bay, the director, what's his name? Michael Bay. I go ask him if he can let me hear whatever. Let me hear Megatron sing. That's a great movie, but I don't want to hear them on the album.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? That's basically it.
Well, that's enough said. So we're sitting here with Ronnie Guess, Hakim Bey. We're at E21 Studios, featured artist for Verbal Designs Entertainment this week. You're watching verbaldesigns.com. And that's a wrap, boys. Thank you for coming out. Ronnie, got something else you'd like to say?
One more thing. We grew up doing this. You know what I mean? This was something that we all did as kids growing up doing it. In high school, banging beats on the cafeteria table after school, sitting in ciphers with book bags on in the middle of winter, freestyling back and forth. That's hip-hop. We were there. We were a part of it from the beginning. There's a lot of people today screaming that they're hip-hop and that they love everything about it and they were there back then. I've never seen you guys there. You were never in any ciphers that I was a part of. People that grew up around here and that love to talk shit, you know, and say what they want, you weren't there when I was there. Now you're here now because it's cool. It's something maybe you should think about. If you weren't a part of it back then, you can't be a part of it now. Because this is something that, since little kid, we were raised doing this. You can't just jump in and think that you can do it, and because it's cool and everybody, no. Stop.
You gotta find out what breakdancing is.
Yeah, find out what breakdancing is. Find out what fucking hip-hop is. This is something that we do and we're going to continue doing until the day that we die. I mean, it's an art form. And you got to respect the culture. If you don't respect the culture and where it came from, come on, man. You shouldn't even be listening to it.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Enough said?
Yeah, enough said.
Thanks for visiting verbaldesigns.com. Check Ronnie Guess out on Stockton Radio Saturday night at 8 p.m. for the featured artist slot with the 10 spot.
Word up.
Peace.